27 years in existence, consistently pushing the creative envelope, and the world's 7th largest advertiser, has managed to keep bringing a youthful face to its demeanor. With ad spends that stand at about $3.2 billion, Coca-Cola has deservingly been named the Creative Marketer of the Year. I caught up with Wendy, Senior Vice President at Coca-Cola, to discuss Coca-Cola's journey from here on. Take it away. First up, many, many congratulations. It is a moment, Advertiser of the Year, and a phenomenal year for you.
It's a moment for us. A 127-year-old company, the 60th year of successful creativity. Coca-Cola never having been a winner before. So it's a moment, and it's one that we're celebrating around the globe. The win was based off work from various regions, across categories, across brands. That feels good. That's the right kind of win that you want. So now our pursuit is to continue.
Sure. Content is suddenly become a very key focus for Coca-Cola. So much so that, the last time I spoke with you, you talked about, how you're collaborating with a lot of creative people, and they may not essentially be traditional advertising agencies. They could be, musicians. They could be, writers. They could be all kinds of things. Can you give me some kind of sense on what kind of progress you've made with, your whole content collation bit?
Yeah.
And is that hub settled within Coca-Cola as a separate, unit for you?
One of the things we're focusing on is just really fueling those stories where they exist and where they can come from the authentic source. So sometimes that includes consumers and fans. They have wonderful stories. One of the people we'll be using in our FIFA campaign upcoming is a photojournalist who had started his own collection of photos on Tumblr. And we sort of found him and thought, well, this is interesting, and now we're collaborating with him. So, that would be a source that we would never have found before. So that's an interesting one. We continue to work with Mofilm, and they bring a nice global coalition of creative storytellers that we'll draw on from there. We have ever-deepening relationships with our agencies, who they themselves are sort of fanning out the ways and places that they're sourcing content from. We haven't started an in-house agency. We don't have ambition to do that. But I will tell you the one thing that we have done, as we get into more of a real-time marketplace, to your changing landscape reference, we do have people doing more and more content internally for response and engagement in real time. And I think you either have to set that up with an agency or you set it up in-house. It varies by market. Some markets of ours are doing it with an agency. Some are hiring people to do it in-house. So the real-time piece, I would say we're really getting after that model particularly.
But tell me, in a country like Facebook or in a country like Twitter, right, where everybody's connected, there is no regionalization.
Yeah.
We're all one country.
Yeah.
How do you ensure that when you put out stuff, it's still, relevant in terms of context?
Exactly. Well, there are 2 points on that. For one, we manage social media locally in 90 countries around the world. So the currency of conversation in New Delhi is not known by anyone better than someone in New Delhi.
Okay.
Right? No one in Atlanta knows the currency of the conversation in New Delhi.
Sure.
And so we've had to push the conversation and make sure that those content managers and conversation managers are local and in market. Now, we aggregate that conversation into one page called our Coca-Cola Facebook page that we can say then we have over 67 million fans on it. But it happens at the local level. It has to. It has to, because it's real time, right? It's about what's happening in that market. At the same time, there are films like the India-Pakistan film, it's just a good example, that transcend, of course, it couldn't be more deeply relevant than it is in India.
Yeah.
But the emotion and the storytelling in that transcends any culture.
One question on why you're so focused on being a non-alcoholic beverage all your life, and why aren't you expanding like your rivals into other interesting, profitable businesses, such as food, which is the most obvious?
Well, I would say that we think there's a lot of territory left in the non-alcoholic ready-to-drink category, for sure. In our juice business particularly, you're getting into some drinkable foods, so maybe that nudge will be okay for you. We're getting into some of the dairies and some of the chunky type juices, which have a lot of sustenance in them. So if you'll allow me, I will tell you that I think that we're getting into some of those spaces there. But there's something that comes with being focused on one thing and doing it very, very well. And I think we have been able to demonstrate over more than 100 years that by being focused on a single category of, non-alcoholic ready to drink, that we can generate and create returns for ourselves, for our shareholders, and impact the world in the same breath. So we don't see that there's any let up in the growth and potential for our business.
Thank you so much, Wendy. Many congratulations once again.
Thank you, and it's lovely to see you again.